Welcome to Kotor Montenegro. Today's excursion was a speedboat trip to Our Lady of the Rocks and Perast Old Town. The Norwegian gem anchored in the bay, and we had to tender to shore. You can see the tenders there are the local tenders. That's what we took on our way to shore. The Norwegian gem was also using its lifeboats to ferry people back and forth. The lifeboats were very warm inside, so I highly recommend bringing a neck fan or some type of fan in case you end up in a lifeboat. Pulling into the port, there were several other ships executing tender operations, so be sure to look for your ship's tent. All of these speedboats are ready to ferry people around. To head to the independent excursions to find these speedboats, you're going to come out of the port area and turn left. You do not want to go down to the stairs. So, right when you come out, there are a set of stairs that go down under this main road that can take you to the old town and inside the city gates. I highly recommend doing that before or after your excursion. But in this case, we're headed to our independent excursion. It's really important when you make an independent excursion that you leave plenty of time to tender over, because you'll need to queue up to get tender tickets, wait for your tender number to be called, and then take the ride across. In our case, our boat said it was going to start its tender operations around 8 a.m. So we booked an 11 a.m. tour, and that was perfect. After you've crossed the bridge, you want to head down these stairs into this park that's kind of a left there. This is where all of the speedboat trips are going to leave from. So you have options whether or not you want to visit the Blue Cave, Our Lady of the Rocks, Perast Old Town. There's also water taxis that can take you to some of the local beaches. Also, if you're just looking for a nice shaded place to sit on a bench and enjoy the weather, if it's not too hot, this park is a great option for that. So, again, we came out of the port, we turned left, we crossed over the bridge. Just after the bridge, we went down the set of stairs to the left. Now, you can see all of the vendors lined up here. It's very important to know the name of your company. We booked with Montenegro Submarine and Speedboat Tours. There were 7 of us in total on the tour, and they were ready to go. So we checked in and headed out on our 11 a.m. excursion. Pulling out of the bay, it was really a great ride. Now, it does get a little bumpy when some of the wind picks up, but you have scenic views of this beautiful area with the hills and mountains along the side. You'll pass different beaches. You can see a little bumps here to give you an idea of how rough it got. There were a couple like bigger bumps. So I think if you had major back problems, this might be a little challenging, but otherwise we enjoyed the ride and the breeze because it was quite warm. We first came across the island with the monastery on it. This is not open to the public, but it's really incredible just to see it floating out here in the bay. We pulled up to Our Lady of the Rocks and exited the boat. Someone greeted us with our tickets to head inside the church. And here's the church. To the side, you'll find a small gift shop and toilets. And then there's the church where you can head inside. It's absolutely gorgeous. So, the story of this church was that some boys found an icon of the Virgin Mary on the rock on which this church is built. And then over the years, sailors brought more and more rocks after they returned from safe sailing. The island was built up and the church was built. There are a number of steps to go through. When you're finished, you head out and the boat pulls back in to pick you up. They gave us about 20 minutes at the church, and that was the perfect amount of time. We got to head up and see everything in the church. There's a small museum on an upper floor, so we got to see all of that. Then we headed to the Perast Old Town. This is a beautiful old town with a number of churches and beach clubs. I honestly wish I would have brought my swimsuit and worn my swimsuit over and swam while we spent 40 minutes in this town. Instead, we just grabbed a seat at one of the bars at the beach club and enjoyed some local beers. Then it was time to find our boat in the sea of boats. There was a bit of traffic, so it took about 10 minutes for our captain to get to us to take us out of town and head back towards the port. We made a surprise stop to pick up some fresh fruit to enjoy on our ride back. A great day on the water.